Good afternoon. It's CB on the Seas. We're talking about the Celtics win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was game 23 of 82, won by 9 points, 118-109. My pull-up three-pointer is this. Huge win, and this point is so good, I'm stealing it from Mike Gorman, who made it during the broadcast last night. He said it was a really nice win, made mostly, or at least nicer, because we didn't need a monumental performance out of Kyrie to do it. The game was, sort of tough circumstances. Travel, second night of a back-to-back, on the road, 4-hour flight, yada, yada, yada. Shitty weather in Minnesota, a good team in Minnesota, won 4 in a row, all that. And usually that means we need a superhuman performance from Kyrie, which he always seems to deliver, but it's nice that we didn't need that because we had Hayward. He posted his best game of the year. Second point of the pull-up three was Stevens' move in the fourth quarter when Minnesota tied the game at 89. He inserted Kyrie. Kyrie hadn't been in the lineup, I think, for the first few minutes of the fourth quarter while Minnesota's making their run. And he put in Kyrie with 8 minutes left, and then the Celtics promptly ran off 9 points to make it 98-89. And, of course, that was the gap, the final gap in the final score, so I don't think that's much of a coincidence. Kyrie's pretty good. Third point of the pull-up three, Smart had 4 steals last night, which is a lot of steals. And I looked it up, and in the last 8 games, he has 17 steals. So that rate is pretty much the highest rate in the league. Anytime you get two steals a game, that's you're in the top 5 in steals. So, everybody's talking about Smart playing a lot and starting, and it's no coincidence that they're 3-0 against a couple of good teams in there, Pelicans and the Timberwolves, on the road. So, fingers crossed, we're looking at some green shoots. No pun intended. The 3 stars, I'd give the third star, is sort of interesting, is sort of the opposite team. Rose, the guy was crazy, he went bonkers. I mean, I've seen a lot of Derrick Rose since his catastrophic knee surgeries, and he looked, he could have been out of the league. He was amazing last night. 11 for 18, posted 26 points in 29 minutes. Yeah, he was very influential. He looked great. Same old guy, maybe not the ultra sky-high jumper that he used to be, but he was still pretty good. Second star I'd give to Kyrie, as usual. He was 2 for 8 from the arc, so that was a little shaky, but 7 for 7 from the line, 9 dimes. He bunch of big shot in the fourth quarter, that 3-pointer. He's so awesome. He's awesome all the time. And of course, Hayward, everybody's talking about him. First time I think I've given him the number 1 star. First time he scored over 20, and he posted 30 points. Of course, you'd like to see it a little more sample size, and he did have that sort of ridiculous travel call where he jumped up and down with the ball. That was sort of embarrassing. And he had another failed lob. I don't know why they keep throwing these lobs to him, poor guy. But yeah, give him the number 1 star. He deserved it. Let's see more of that. The 3 stains on the game. Third, it was a pretty good game. Not a lot of people played too badly. But I'd give it to Tyus Jones just because he's a short little shit from Duke, and I hate those guys. Little Trajan Langdon sort of imposter. Saric, he was 0 for 4 from the arc. And the last time he played us was the first game of the season when he was on Philadelphia, and he was 0 for 4 from the arc then. I thought there was a nice little symmetry. He sucked both games. And I don't really see what the big deal is with him. I think he sucks. And he's got that gross hair lip. And he looks like he never showers. Maybe showers once every 2 weeks, so he's pretty gross. The number 1 stand on the game, I think, is Higgins, though. Or Wiggins. Wiggins, number one pick overall. Is there a bigger bust? He ended up with 17 points, but my God, the guy's a sick player. He should be an all-star, and he's frittering his career away. But I'm sure in his mind, he's not frittering it away because he's making so much money and he got that massive deal. So it's all good for him. The joke's on us, as usual. Closeout. Schwartz Ace Hardware is a family-owned hardware store in the Lake, that neighborhood in Onantum in Newton. It's on, I think it's on Washington Street, right on Adams. Adams and not Washington, sorry, Watertown. It's important to patronize your local retail shops that don't got a business. And if you think you need to go to a Home Depot, you know what? Stop by Schwartz to see if they have it. I bet they do, and I bet it's cheaper, and it'll be easier to get to, and you won't have to worry about, people dinging your car in the parking lot at Home Depot or being ripped off or hit up for spare change, which happened a lot, at least at Home Depot in Highland Park, where I used to live out in Los Angeles. So that's my closeout, and the next game is a nice little break here. Next game is Thursday, this coming Thursday, game 24 of 82 against the Knicks at home. And I want a little revenge for that debacle from the Wednesday Thanksgiving Eve game, and I'm expecting it. So until then, peace in the Middle East.